The New York baseball landscape has split into two distinctly opposing philosophies this offseason. On the Bronx side, the Yankees, much like their regional rivals, the Phillies, seem content to stand pat.
Shedar. They spent big money, yes, but primarily to retain their existing core, suggesting they are simply running it back in 2026. This approach, while perhaps frustrating for fans hoping for major splashes, isn't inherently wrong. We are, after all, talking about teams that won serious amounts of ballgames. They both ultimately got schooled in the first round, but if you're going to be eliminated, you might as well fall to the eventual champions, or at least a team on the precipice of true greatness. But journey across the bridge to Queens, Peter Parker's stomping grounds, and you find a front office operating under a radically different mandate. For the Mets, change wasn't just desired, it was mandatory. It was a complete, surgical, and often brutal overhaul. If the Yankees' mantra was continuity, the Mets was a harsh whisper of, "Let the past die. Kill it if you have to."
After the disastrous, inexplicable collapse of the 2025 season, the Mets couldn't simply put a fresh coat of paint on the same rotting foundation.
Shedar. Fans had a moral right, almost a legal right, to demand wholesale house cleaning.
David Stearns và Steve Cohen understood this, and they executed one of the most aggressive, reputation-shredding off-seasons in recent memory.
The sheer volume of high-profile departures was staggering. Brandon Nimmo was shipped off, paving the way for the acquisition of Marcus Semien.
But why trade an outfielder for a second baseman when you already have Jeff McNeil? Because McNeil was also immediately on the chopping block.
The club moved him clear across the country to California, ensuring he was geographically separated from Francisco Lindor by the width of the continent.
The clubhouse dynamics. This wasn't just about the on-field failure to turn double plays, a genuine issue that often saw Lindor screaming at McNeil.
The underlying friction, the deeply toxic atmosphere, required a full exorcism.
The reported political disagreements between Nimmo and Lindor, no matter how ridiculous they sound on paper, clearly created an untenable fissure in the locker room. When the center fielder and the franchise shortstop can't see eye to eye on fundamental issues, something has to give. Stearns made sure it wasn't Lindor.
Then came the truly shocking moves, allowing legendary slugger Pete Alonso to walk, alongside beloved closer Edwin Diaz.
Alonso, a homegrown favorite, the face of the offense, was simply deemed too expensive for the years he was requesting, especially given the club's existing commitment to other mega contracts.
The organization felt confident replacing his production with a combination of internal options and market finds like Jorge Polanco, all while pursuing larger, more impactful threats.
The aggressive reshaping of the roster immediately signaled that Stearns was not messing around.
They secured Luis Robert from the White Sox, a high-risk, high-reward outfielder with incredible raw talent who just needs the right environment to thrive.
Shedar. Perhaps by tapping into some unconventional motivation, this move could completely shift the team's offensive ceiling.
In the bullpen, the loss of Diaz, a monumental presence, was mitigated by the immediate signing of two formidable relievers, Devin Williams và Luke Weaver.
Cohen and Stearns clearly have a predilection for quality Yankee castoffs, and Williams, in particular, is a phenomenal talent, making the sting of losing Diaz considerably less painful. But the cornerstone of this offseason, the move that defines the Stearns-era philosophy, was the acquisition of Freddie Peralta from Milwaukee.
Shedar. If you recognize the pattern, it's because Stearns brought the Brewers' special playbook with him to Queens. This strategy dictates that a small market team should never,
ever let elite pitching talent walk for free.
Instead, they trade their ace-level starters 1 or 2 years before they hit free agency, maximizing the return. Milwaukee did it with Josh Hader, Corbin Burns, and now Peralta.
While Brewers fans must deal with the perpetual agony of losing their stars, the organization keeps winning, year after year, thanks to the quality prospects garnered in return.
Cedar, however, have the financial muscle to keep Peralta.
Shadar. They traded 2 highly regarded prospects, which are still only prospects, for a proven, consistently good starting pitcher, who instantly upgrades a rotation that finished almost last in innings pitched last year.
They didn't just stop there. They also secured Tobias Myers in the deal, adding even more high-potential pitching depth.
Peralta is the Viagra for this rotation. He is the immediate, undeniable boost the Mets sorely needed.
The final piece of this strategic puzzle was the trade for Vidal Brujan, a deal that spoke volumes about Stearns' evaluation of raw talent.
When the Mets front office throws significant trade capital at a player, it suggests they see massive untapped potential.
The Mets are not slowing down. They have taken the necessary, difficult steps to move past the trauma of 2025.
Shadar. Committing to a new organizational philosophy focused on strategic depth and acquiring both high-upside players and established aces like Peralta, they have transformed the clubhouse from a collection of frustrated millionaires into a highly motivated, if completely new, roster.
The Mets haven't won anything yet, but if this aggressive, không có nhân hiệu overhaul represents the entirety of their off-season strategy, it deserves an extremely high grade.
They took action, they committed to change, and they built a foundation that is fundamentally stronger than the fractured team they fielded last season. That, for Mets fans, is the greatest victory of all.